All right. Well, we're here. We're here now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central, and the Mets don't just lose, but they get their ass handed to them again. 10-2 by the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 4 of the NLCS. I'm glad I had time to cool off and digest this a bit, because I'm going to be honest with you. If I just came on here right when the game ended, this would have been like complete and utterly embarrassing with how childish it would have been. I'm just feeling empty right now. Empty's the best way to put this. I gotta say two things. I gotta admit two things off the rip. The one thing is, I lied to myself. And you should never lie to yourself, but I lied to myself. But I shouldn't have, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I felt great going into this game. Once I got to the stadium, I lied to myself and said, let's go, we're winning this series. I lied to myself and said they were going to win this series. And I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have lied to myself. The second thing I have to admit is I underestimated the Dodgers themselves. I mean, I clearly did. Clearly underestimated them. And it's not that I thought they were a bad team and that they were a slouch. Like, I didn't think the Mets were going to go in there and beat the shit out of them. I thought that this was going to be a series where at least it was going to be close. Right now, it's not. And it's a correlation to both the Dodgers being the team they are and the Mets being just pathetic, whether it's the pitching, whether it is the offense not coming through on multiple occasions. This team is just not good enough right now. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think this team's winning Game 5, because I can't sit here and do that. I would be lying to you guys, and if you have faith, God bless your soul. I'm not going to rain on your parade, and I'm not going to tell you to not have faith, but I'm going to warn you, do not watch the rest of this post game if you do feel that way and you do want to get this ruined, because I can't be there. I just can't. And the reason why is because of the fact that this offense, it was right there for them tonight. It was right there, and they still couldn't break through. They were right there. And maybe that's one of your reasons to have faith, is that they were right there. They just went 0-4 with runners in scoring position. Maybe you think they'll do it again tomorrow, but they'll actually come through. Maybe you're right. And I hope to God that anyone that feels that way is right, because I want nothing more than to be wrong about that. But I cannot sit here and convince myself of that when you have just terrible, terrible managerial decisions as well happening. I mean, just terrible. Your season's in jeopardy right now. And Carlos Mendoza elects to roll the dice with Harrison Bader. There's a reason Harrison Bader has barely stepped on the diamond this postseason. And you're going to die, potentially, with Harrison Bader playing center field tonight. JD Martinez is just not good. He's cooked. He is clearly cooked. And as this game progressed, when Jeff McNeil came up with one out and the bases loaded in that inning, and Winker wasn't there, I'm like, maybe Winker's hurt. You know what? Fine. Maybe Winker's hurt, and that's why. And then we see him pitch hit the next at bat. And he does something that we could have used the last at bat, which was a deep fly ball. Looked like it was going to be gone off the bat, but needed the at bat before, and Jeff McNeil, to no surprises, added no help at all for this team. I just have a hard time feeling good when it is this many guys coming up minuscule when guys are in scoring position. I mean, that's what's really the worst part about this loss is the score does not indicate the fact that the Mets could have turned this game around and won this game. They really could have turned this thing around and won. The problem is, once Shohei hit that leadoff home run, I felt empty right off the rip, and I'm like, I hate that I lied to myself. But then Vientos responds in the bottom of the first. I'm like, okay, maybe. And then the third inning, everything spirals out of control because this pitching staff all season long, I mean, we talked about it how many times? That there is a walking issue with this pitching staff. There's clearly an issue with the walks. And no matter what happens the rest of the way, Jeremy Hefner needs to go. But, I mean, that's a story. That's a conversation for the end of the season stream, which I hate that I even have to think about that being a thing. But regardless, way too many times nibbling the zone, and you're giving guys free passes to get on base. And this is a team that's going to make you pay because their lineup is deep. Because if you're walking the guys in front, the guys at the bottom part of the order are not going to, or they're going to make you pay, I should say, especially because they were leaving such quality pitches for them to hit. That's what's really annoying. And this isn't the Philadelphia Phillies where you're going to get them to chase. It just isn't. And then the bottom of the third. Bases loaded, 1 out. Nimmo hits into what we thought was a double play, and then it wasn't because they overturned the call 3-2, and it's like, okay, it sucks. And then Marte hits into that force out, and it's like, again, it sucks. It really sucks that you couldn't come through there. But all right, 1-run game, and nope, there it goes right away because Pages lines out, and then it flips. Taylor got the single, then it flips. Shohei then again gets walked because of the fact that nibbling the zone. And then Mookie Betts, give him a fastball right down the pipe. You're going to pay for it every time. And it made it 5-2 with that double. And that sucked the air out. Until we got, it did suck the air out, but even then we got to the 6th inning. Sorry, my camera, I accidentally closed down my camera app for a second. That's probably why it froze. But we get to the 6th inning. Shohei Ohtani gets pitched around by Budo. Which, by the way, Budo is not great either yet again. No surprise that Jose Budo going against the meat of the order with guys on base wasn't going to work out. I texted my group chat. We know how this is going to go. And yeah, it freaking went how we thought. But then we get to the 6th inning, like I mentioned. So Maton comes in. And that's another thing. Phil Maton, how many times have we had the discussion here that Phil Maton is not the guy to go to against that part of the order? When you have back-to-back days still, and then the day off, you need to go to Ryan Stanek there to keep the game at bay. You have to. Doesn't happen, and we know what happens. Mookie tanks one. Right in front of my own fucking eyes. Beautiful. Eventually he gets out of the inning. And then the Mets almost respond. They get bases loaded with nobody out. Iglesias strikes out. McNeil pinch hits for Bader, which, again, it should have just been Winker there. And McNeil hits into a fly out, not deep enough for a run to score, and then Winker hits one that looked like maybe it had a chance, but it wasn't hard enough off the bat to leave. It was only 94. If this was Yankee Stadium, we would have been partying because they maybe would have had a chance to win this game, but it's not Yankee Stadium, so yeah. That ended up being a fly out. And then things just continued to get ugly. The Mets got a couple base runners in the 7th, went nowhere with it. Danny Young just had the wear the rest of this game. Allowed a single, a walk. Edman had that double to make it 9-2. Hernandez had that single. Smith had one to make it 10-2. And then, I mean, there was really nothing else to take away. Like, yay, JD Martinez got a walk, and they had back-to-back singles in the 9th to get you roped in at least a bit. I want to pull up some stats right now. But as I do that, leave a like I said, if you haven't already, and subscribe and all that other stuff. But it's going to take me a minute. I got to respond to a text, too. It's just a freaking mess. Sorry. I just got distracted there, but great content, but it is what it is. Like, what do I care right now at this point? Let's see if I could find the tweets. Mets have been outscored 30-9 in the NLCS so far. I think that went up. David Peterson starting game 5. Senga will be available in relief. Sure. This is one that I saw before the game, and it really, it made me so freaking annoyed. So, dates of the last home runs for these individuals: Francisco Alvarez, September 21st. JD Martinez, August 30th. Starling Marte, June 12th. June 12th. Right. Right. Trying to find the stat about the walks, but I can't find it. I don't know. It's like something that they've averaged like 7 walks a game this entire series. You're not winning against this team if you do that. I'm so annoyed. I'm just so livid right now. I don't know. I don't know what there is left to say, honestly, other than, the best part about baseball, you get to go back out there the next day and try to rewrite it. All I know is this. This is a very deep hole against a very good team. If they find a way to get this done somehow and overcome this adversity, then I have a pretty good feeling we'll be celebrating a World Series. But if they do not overcome this, I'm going to be very livid, but I also am not going to be surprised at this rate, to be honest, because it's what I think is going to happen at this point. I just cannot see. I just can't see it. And I know that people are going to say, if any team is to do it, it's going to be this team. And I wish I could be that way right now. And maybe I'm a loser for giving up right now and for feeling this way. I'll admit that. But right now, I don't know. I just can't sell myself on it. I really just can't. And that's the problem. But either way, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.